lyrical episode of Hessian Scrum. Joining us today is an absolute legend of Swedish death metal, the one and only Anders Strokirk. Hello, Anders.
Hello. Thank you for letting me talk on your show. Yes.
The pleasure is mine, honestly.
Thank you.
So let's start off with your latest release, 2020, Dawn of the Damned.
Yes.
So, you've been playing this kind of music for a very long time. Nocturnal Silence came out in 93, I believe.
93 or 92. I don't actually remember. I think it was, actually 92 or 93. I can't remember when you say it. Maybe it's 93.
August the 2nd, 1993, Black Mark
You
Productions.
know it better than me.
Yeah, I just looked it up. So tell us, how do you manage to keep having that passion to make something like, your latest record?
Well, it's a passion about everything. If you're into something and you want to do something good and you develop in it and you want to do it, like if you have a vision of it, how you want it to be, the outcome of it, if you have an interest in it and you want to do it more perfection and everything, you will always find ways to do it better, and you want to do it, and it's always there. If you have a grit to do it, you do it. It's the willpower of the mind.
Do you ever find yourself getting bored? Because it always feels like you said you're constantly perfecting your style. There's Necrophobic, and we know what Necrophobic is. You haven't done anything to change the style or do something completely different. You've kept on within the same kind of mindset.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story, because when I was on the Nocturnal Silence album, it was a different lineup. It was Joachim, David, Tobias, and me. And we did this album, and when David jumped off and Sebastian joined the band and Martin joined the band as well, and I jumped off the band, it was like they were in this mindset, still having this rules about how the sound should be.
Yeah.
We were always good friends and everything. So, well, years passed and everything happened with lineups and stuff. And when I joined the band again, it was pretty like you just jumped into the same feeling and how it should be. You can feel it and you know how it should sound from the beginning, and how Necrophobic has, because we're living together as friends since all the time. We are deep friends, and when you go into the Necrophobic train, you know exactly how it should sound, and so it's you can go a little bit on the left or to the right or down or up, but still on the same track. And if you are close to these guys and you know them and you know from the beginning how it should sound, it's just like riding a bicycle. You just jump on it and you go and you take it. It's not like you have to study or anything. For instance, if you take in a different kind of singer or a guitar player, he has to learn how to ride this bike.
Yeah.
But if you're in the band for a long time, you just jump on and just take off from where you left. So it's pretty easy. Just on the train, woof, you know exactly what to do. And that's what Necrophobic is now. Everybody knows exactly what their position is and how they should be better in what they're doing. So everybody's like up to the task.
Now, one thing which always surprises me is that the style that you play nowadays has been copied by a lot of people. Everyone's kind of playing that dark, almost melodic death metal that you're doing. Guys who are half your age, who could almost be your grandchildren now. But
the disciples.
Yeah. But when you started, I can't think of any band that was close to that at all.
Well, we didn't have that in mind, We were just trying to do our best stuff. We wanted to sound. We had some good riffs, and we had a good feeling and a good band. You wanted to have a band, and like we had Entomb, Dismember, Animated, we had Dissection, and everybody in this area, when they is at this time, we're knowing each other, and we were influenced by each other very much. We didn't think much about the future. Like we're planning to be like in 30 years now, we're gonna have some disciples hanging around, or anything like that. It's just amazing to see how that it actually turned out to be this way. And I think it's amazing that you see younger people liking it and feeling influenced by it, and it's an honor to have achieved something great with music. It's a great wow. Did we actually do this? So I think I'm amazed by the outcome of what we started. Is amazing. I think it's I don't know. Hard to find the right words, but cool, really cool.
I mean, we thank you for that great music. But one thing that you said that all you guys in Sweden were all inspired by each other, which is kind of surprising for me because, there's a big disconnect between, what was going on in Stockholm and then the Gothenburg stuff.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of sat in the middle of both. You still had the very aggressive riffs, very in your face, but you also have the melody.
Yeah, exactly. But I think everybody at these times had some kind of melodies in their music. And well, for instance, if you look at Nocturnal Silence, there was some parts that where we could. David was instantly, he couldn't say, you can't go that's too melodic, that will suck, it's like a poser swing. It was like, no, there's fucking evil stuff. It's good, you keep that, do it, And he was like very frightened that it would be too melodic, and it would, if it's too melodic, it would be posers, and that is a fucking wimp situation, But in the end, it turned out good. We were right, keep that shit, in the music. That's gonna turn out great, and it was great. So I don't know, but since we come from a hard rock background, listen to AC/DC, Motorhead, and everything, and Black Sabbath, there's always a melody, but you have to be very, very careful that the melody don't turn out cheesy. And you have to find the finest balance between the cheesiness and the occult, the right feeling. So, yeah, of course, we nailed it, maybe.
Oh, no, definitely.
Since we are here,
Yeah, I mean, even on the, Dawn of the Damned, there's some fantastic melodies. And I think maybe now that you guys are less, you don't care about being posers or anything, you might have a bit more fun with those melodies.
I think we're free to do what we want. And we have our background, and we still have a future, and we have what we are. We know what we are, and we know what we can do. We can take the melodical stuff, as we had in the earlier days. Don't let it go cheesy. Just have it in the right vibe and the right mindset and everything, and it would be good. We don't have to prove anything, actually. We just have to prove that we still can deliver, and we have this, what can we do more to develop? And I think our main focus now is to still be able to find the great riffs. Sebastian is amazing. He is very, very talented. And we are trying to, be as good by his side when he's writing music on our stuff that we are doing. So we're actually trying to be better in our instruments, better in our performances, and trying to have a more higher level of what we are doing. So that's why we're on the same side, and we're trying to do our stuff the best we can.
Yeah.
And the melodies, they're still there, and I think it's for the good.
Same. I mean, one thing that when someone says necrophobic, I think the first thing that comes to mind are those incredible vocals that you have.
Oh, thank you.
One thing I don't understand how you do it. You know, I know a lot of guys have tried, even some friends of mine.
Yeah.
You have the kind of very gruff, entombed, dismember kind of voice at times.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you go higher up in pitch, you know, more like Dissection or some of the black metal guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like you don't use it as much in the later albums, I've realized, but a lot on the Nocturnal Silence.
Oh, I haven't thought about it.
But
Maybe.
How'd that come about? You know, I can even think the title track on the Nocturnal Silence. You know, when it starts first, you're using the kind of very typical Swedish voice, but then, you know, when there's the fast break, it goes kind of higher up in pitch.
Yeah. My prayers have been answered. I'm no longer a victim of God. Oh, you mean that first phrases? It's a pretty much because on the Nocturnal Silence, before that album, they released the demo tapes with Stefan Harvik on the vocals, and he was like, he was really grumpy.
Yeah.
In the old kind of old-fashioned death metal ways, you know, he's singing Crematory and all this, and he has a really deep voice, you know. But I have, I don't know, I can go high, I can go low, but I have this middle area where I can go a lot, and I like it because I can go down, I can go up, you know, and I can form, and I can feel the way I want the sound to be, and the sentence, and how to follow the melody, how to create diversity and everything, and how I do it. I actually don't. I think I'm born with it. I have to say. I think Joachim mentioned it time. How the fuck do you do that? You don't even before the gig or anything. He said you don't sing up or anything. You don't warm up. You just go on stage and you just do it. And I say, yeah. I don't know. I just do it, you know. And I'm very glad I have this gift. It's the same when we record these albums. Not to brag, but I feel a little bit proud because Mark of the Necrogram 2.5 days with vocals, and Shad Dawn of the Damned 2 days on the vocals. Only.
My God.
And it's like I think it all depends on how you prepare. And I think on Dawn of the Damned, I had a demo version of the songs, and I was home in my studio, and I took the song and recorded them, all of them, at my place at first, you know, in my basement. So I had them 2 weeks before, even 1 week. So I was really warmed up, and I knew exactly how to nail the every sentence and phrase and everything. So when I entered the studio, I already did this. So it was pretty easy to just went on a slide. It was not like you have to, how do I do this? Because everybody had heard these demo tapes and know exactly how it should sound. And it was so tight on the timing to enter the studio. So I had this voice already. So it's pretty easy. Sing the fucking album at home, and then you go into the studio and do it in 1 hour. And it's, great. Sounds awesome.
What, you don't get tired after 2 days? You know, your voice doesn't tighten up, or?
No, actually, this was no tiring at all, because it was like I nailed most of the songs, and I know when I have to script. For instance, on the Nocturnal Silence album, I was more like I think I did the songs in 3 days, but then I was worn out because I screamed out. I was like, wow, too much.
Yeah.
And on these albums, I hold myself back a little bit so I don't get worn out, but I get the same effect. So I was like old and wise, and I know just hold a little bit back, and you get the same result without screaming your lungs out, and you can hold out. You know, you can balance the energy. So you can hear on a Nocturnal Silence album the difference between some of the when my voice is the best and when it's like getting worn out.
Yeah,
you can hear them if you're really if good listening when I'm tired, and which songs are when I'm at my peak, and so on, you know. But on Dawn of the Damned, I think I was at my peak all the time. Mark of the Necrophobic, I was actually on Tsar Bomba. I was a little bit worn out because I know this song was going to turn out great.
Yeah.
So I saved it for the last. And then I was like, shit, man, I wish it had turned out on the demo as it did on the demo. But it was good. But for my own personal interest, I would like it to be my voice a little bit more better.
Seriously, you know, Tsar Bomba is your most popular song.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's a good one.
I mean, do you know why that song was the most popular one?
It has a catchy. It's like the old. It has a black metal feeling, down, down, and you have a constant the vocals, and you have a catchy chorus. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I noticed you did a lot during that period. You know, sometimes, especially on the earlier stuff, you know, you'd go through a chorus very quickly, but then there, I think you guys realize that wait, we have this really cool part. Let's stay on it. You know, you don't need 10 million riffs a song like you guys sometimes do. Where did that decision to, you know, not slow down, but just to really, you know, live the moment?
I think it's when we. Well, I don't know who invented it or anything, who come up with the idea, but I think we started out like let's make music like we want it to be. How did the old rock and roll, hard rock music people do the stuff? You know, if you have a song called Tsar Bomba, then you have to say Tsar Bomba in the chorus, of course, because and you have to have some kind of because that's the thing to grasp the crowd. And can you do it with a black metal, death metal vibe, and don't make it cheesy? That's the hard thing. That's exactly like I told you about the melodic stuff. You have to have it in the exact portion, but you have to keep it. You don't have to be like sloppy or saying, oh, well, we can play 10 more riffs in this song before the chorus because we can. We can just choose to pick it because it's easier and it's people like it better, and I think we will like it better. It's more fun to play, you know. It's more like the old rock and roll, hard rock melody structure, and if you can keep that and still be able to make it sound like it does, like we actually did, then it's the perfect recipe for how it should sound, and actually it's proven that it works. You have to have the same structure as always, you know, like a strong chorus, like Par Bomba, the song is Tsar Bomba, and instead of naming a song something and you don't sing it anywhere in the song, and people go, oh yeah, I like this song, what's it called, I don't know, oh yes, it's a good one, you know, but they never get to the chorus because if you sing the chorus, yeah, that's the name of the song, yeah, then you know it. If you have that structure, guarantee success, and it's a good one. I like these songs when they are this way because why not? It's better.
Yeah, you know that leads me you know, to Blackshine. You know, completely different band. You're doing guitars and vocals, but huge choruses every time.
Yeah.
So why did you make Blackshine? You know, when you know, and everything. You know, why go back into that hard rock style? You changed the way you sang completely. Everything was different to Necrophobic.
I guess I had it in me, and I had to take it out because Necrophobic was Joachim and David and Tobias. It was Joachim and David, you know, but they're kind of band. And with Blackshine, I composed myself, write the lyrics, and did all the riffs and stuff. So it was like my band with the other guys from Headsets. We played death metal in the beginning, but then we turned out like well, everybody's playing death metal, and what the fuck, we feel like a carbon copy of everything. But how can we develop in this area? So we were like, well, we'll try to do some rock and roll shit, and we did it. So that's the direction. We tried to go in the opposite direction of everybody said, oh, death metal is the latest. You have to play death metal to get a record deal. And we said like, well, fuck that. We want to be on the opposite side because I feel we want to be like next dry, never on. You're like not swimming the direction where the river is floating. So we wanted to go on the opposite, direction, and that's what we did. So we started playing this kind of rock and roll, depressive kind of a way. But of course, there are bands doing it better and everything. But we wanted to do it, and we got pretty far with it. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 records, and every one of them was sounding different, And some guy told us that, oh, you're fucking death and roll. No, not death and roll, goth and roll, they told us. I think it was Bufo Schnellbach from Rock Hard magazine in Germany. He named us goth and roll. And then there was this guy from Finland called 69 Eyes. They said, we're goth and roll. And we were like, what the fuck? Yeah, there's a goth and roll there, metal, line going, probably. And they said like they were goth and roll, and we didn't care at all. We played hard rock, and we didn't know what we was. We just doing what we thought was good. And of course, I wanted to try to sing more normal because I like this kind of singing, and well, it's more easy to sing death and the way I do in Necrophobic. To sing normal is it was a real it was hard for me. It was like a big task to develop that kind of singing, because on the first Blackshine album I sang fuck, I wasn't good,
No, honestly, I like it because I think you were very creative. What's the first song? Your pain, my pain, your pleasure. The first song on the album, right? On the chorus, you do. I don't know what you were doing. I think you were doing something like this, very nasally.
Exactly. I didn't do the nasally. I just sound that way, Yeah. And everybody said, "Hey, you don't have to sound so nasal." And I was, "What the fuck are you talking about? That's the way I sound,
But it worked really well. I loved it, Honestly,
so, everybody's nagging about that. Can you please the nasal sound? And I say, I can't take away the nasal sound because I sound, And well, of course, we tried it, and some of the songs are working, but I hated that when people say it sounds like a fucking hole in my nose. Maybe it does, because when I sing, I stop breathing through my nose. So actually, it is the nasal sound. And that's how I sound. Can't say anything more about it.
It's a great sound. I mean, I think you try a lot of techniques, even at times, like, on The Beast Within, it's a lot more throatier, your singing style.
Yeah, it's more like, more down.
Yeah. And I mean, it's insane that you managed to create, all these tones vocally. If someone gave me Blackshine and Necrophobic and didn't tell me what bands and who was in the bands, I would never be able to guess it was the same singer.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm some kind of levels, and that I guess it's good, Maybe we can hear some of maybe some similarities that you can hear if you're good. I don't know.
Honestly,
I also sang in a band called Mikuritsa. It's a Swedish band with Hempa from he has this band called what do you call now? Excruciate, and he also played a band called Darkened and Angel. I don't know. I can't remember it for the moment. But he and I and the guy from Martin, he's called Martin. We played in a band called Mikuritsa, and that's when I turned out to be mixing my own vocals with the death metal vocals. So there's a song on one of the albums that I actually was singing 6 different styles in one song. it was wild, you know. But it's actually really good because I can go all the way that I wanted to try with my boss. There was no boundaries. Do what you want, and I was like free to do it because when I was in Necrophobic, you have to do this, and I was like in this frame. And when you with Blackshine, I had to do this. There was this frame. I can only stick in this little box. But with Mikuritsa, I can do whatever I want, and the freedom of letting myself do the stuff that I did on these albums, it actually developed my vocals because I never thought I could do this stuff before. So I was pretty amazed by the outcome of Mikuritsa songs, you know. You haven't heard it?
No, honestly, I haven't heard it. You know, I've heard all your Necrophobic stuff, all your Blackshine stuff, but no, I haven't heard Mikuritsa, you know.
You have to check it out.
I definitely will.
We released like 3 albums called the name is like a mushroom roots.
Yeah.
Mykorrhiza, and the first album is called I don't remember. Second, Northern Remembrance is the best album, and they have this third album, the last one we did. That was more like just black death metal songs, but the Northern Remembrance is the best album, and that's when I really got into my vocals, where I developed, so to speak, and could be able to see what I can do, and it turned out good. So check it out.
Definitely. I'll even add a link on the bottom of this video.
Mikuritsa, Northern Remembrance. Check it out.
All right. But, you know, one thing that's quite funny is that in Blackshine, you did vocals and guitars.
Yeah.
How does it feel, you know, to do both compared to just doing, you know, vocals? Because you're mainly known as a vocalist, right?
Yes. In Necrophobic then.
Yeah.
And in Mikuritsa. But I think it was pretty fun because I started out like a guitar player. And we started out Blackshine or headsets. It was like, okay, who's gonna sing? And it's like, I can sing while I'm playing, you know. And I was like, well, it worked for me. So I was the vocal guy. So that's why my vocal career started. You know, I could play and sing at the same time. And so that's the way it is. But I was also really good in trying to focus on the solos and on the playing. So I think it's really funny, you know, to play guitar at the same time as you sing, but both the guitar and the vocals get a little bit laid back. You have to like, you know, okay, at this time I do the guitars and then I have to put down the vocal. You can't freely express yourself in one area. If you're just a guitar player, you can go with the guitar. If you're just vocals, you can go with the vocals. So that's why I quit the guitars, because Sebastian is a hell of a lot better guitar player than me, and I think it's more fun, you know, to just sing, just be able to do the vocals and get the crowd, catch the crowd, talk with the crowd, you know, and exist with the crowd.
Yeah.
That's the best thing, to just do one thing and to be 100% on that. Of course, I can do the guitars, but then I have to, you know, cut some stuff from the vocals, and also when I'm singing, I can cut some stuff from the guitars. So, and I did that in Blackshine, you know, but it was like you have to think triple mind or 4-dimensional and everything, and it worked. But if I just be the vocals or just be the guitar player, maybe everything would be better. I don't know, but it was fun to do it, you know.
No, you know.
So now I'm lazy, maybe.
Now, honestly, you know, those kind of vocals you do in Necrophobic, I think you need to be concentrated at 110%, you know.
Of course. I think it's not like you just sing. You have to have the mindset and look at the crowd and make the crowd be with you. You can't just stand there and look like a fucking TV monitor. You know, you have to be with the crowd. That's 100%. When I'm not singing, I'm catching the crowd. You know, I'm walking
Yeah.
around, look at the crowd, and I want them to be with where we are. You know, so I'm working. I'm not lazy. Going drinking beer or something. You know, behind the stage. I'm with it. I'm 100% on the stage when I'm there, even when I'm singing.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of Necrophobic live videos, and you're going fucking crazy all the time. There
Yeah.
not one where I've never seen you stand still for more than 10, 15 seconds, maybe.
No, I think when I'm on stage, I want to be on top because every gig has to be better than the gig before.
Yeah.
And it's like a rush, you know, you get so fucking you want to grasp the moment, you want to feel the crowd, and you want to be with the crowd and want them to feel like you. And that's I cannot do it halfway,
Yeah.
feeling like, yeah, I did my job, you know, today, and because I want to be on stage and perform. If they pay to see us and they expect to see us and they like the music, and when they come to our shows, I'm gonna give all I got to make them feel the value of the money and the value when they come to see us. Wow, this is good. If they say, yeah, it was a pretty okay show, it's not good for me. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it good. So that's why I go like I don't know. I just let loose, let everything go, 100%. No more, no less,
No.
no more. No. Then you have to pay.
Yeah, send Anders some money if you want more than 100%.
I guarantee.
You know, let's talk about the lyrics. You know, I remember reading on a zine somewhere. I think it's like some guy uploaded an old paper zine that one of the reasons you guys started Necrophobic is because you wanted to make death metal that was really evil.
Ooh, that is. I think everybody was influenced in the way of turning our backs to the church and religion as well. And the easiest way to, rebel, go with dark man, and that's of course the way of life, because we were all that influenced, and we wanted to mock Christianity because it's a basic religion in where we are, and. If the lyrics have to be, because there was like Slayer is more influenced like all this stuff, and the Venom and Bathory is, they started it all, we were just jumping on the train, and we felt like religion is a crusher of the development of life, or anything, it turns you into a frame, you can't do that, you can't do that, because man's humanity, we have the ability to do whatever we want. We can create anything, we can destroy everything. We can make everything great. We have the power to do what we want. But to frame us, and said, if you, when you die, you go to heaven or hell. What are you gonna do? And that is a lie. And we understand that. Everybody understands that has some kind of a brain. That this is a lie.
Yeah.
And when you see through that, then you can turn your back on everything, almost all the rules, and create your own rules. And we wanted to do that. And maybe, I don't know if we were more anti-Christian lyrical than any other band at that time. Maybe. But we were one of them, I can say.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed a lot of in your lyrics, there's a lot of anti-Christianity, a lot of occult, but no reference to Satan. There are very little.
Well, yeah, as you say it, yeah, I think so. No, but that came later on the Dark Side album, and then we went further and praise the Dark Lord and stuff, you know. Dark side, you know. I want to be with the dark side, you know, and join it and everything. So it was more like. Then it turned out to be more to the dark side. That I like everything develops, you know. They explain if you're not going to be on the Christianity side, who's you going to be? Yeah, on the rebellion side. Okay, and who's the rebel? Yeah, chief rebel angel, Satan, and yeah. I think we are not the first ones to speak about joining, and because you can see how the Christianity talks about Lucifer as he tried to crush God from the throne because God was a fucking. If you believe in that, you know, I don't believe in it, but if you follow that kind of a thinking, you have to see the sides of Satan because he sees like a fucking God who's doing exactly how it is, a fucking dictator with his roots, and they say like we have to take this guy down because he's gonna fuck up everything, you know. And then we try to take him down, and he didn't manage, you know. But he's actually was the first one who did it. He's the chief rebel angel, and that's what you're gonna do. You can't have any dictator above your head because you are fucking the greatest being on earth. Every one of us is that. You can do anything you want, and nobody has to say, "Well, you have to listen to God." Why? Because you are the head of your body. Nobody controls you. If you do it good, you do it good. If you do it bad, well, then you have to suffer because other people will be pissed off you. But you still don't have anybody who says that you are lesser or you have a God above your head. You can do anything that is great as long as everybody along with your on your sides are thinking it's great. But nobody is you have no masters. You can have idols, but you have no masters. That's the best thing, and I think that's the chief rebel angel showed us. Strike down your idols, you know, and everything.
So, is that what you would say the soul of Necrophobic is? You know, everyone is their own leader. There shouldn't be one dictator or anything.
Yeah, I think that's the well, that's my opinion, you know. And I think if I say that Necrophobic, I don't think the other guys in the band would say I have a I have a strange belief, but I think they are more or less in the same way of thinking, and they maybe can explain their way of thinking this kind of area in a better way or in a worse way. But I think we are pretty much agree on that we can do what the fuck we want, you know. We can do anything we want, and we don't have any masters, and we especially don't have a dictator called God above our heads. We are available. We can do anything we want, and strike the masters down, you know. Especially if they're bad for us, and they try to frame us. That's not good.
So, for Necrophobic, what are some things, you know, outside of music that inspire you? You know, books, movies, or, you know, events?
Well, I think actually through the years everything has been passing on what I think is passionate about, but developing my own mind and see what I'm available to do and what I can do, and to find steps in my life to go forward and exploring my mind, you know. Shit, I didn't know I can do this, you know. That is my main focus, to find inspiration of always be growing, you know. Never be stuck in an area, you know, and feeling comfortable. I can't do that. I have to always grow, find new ways to develop, and that is my kind of way of living and find inspiration. For instance, if I can compare this to Tsar Bomba, we wrote this song in Russia, Sebastian said, this has to be a song about Russia. And we said, yeah, fuck, man, what should it be called? And Sebastian said, I got it. And they said, like, everybody was, what? And he said, Tsar Bomba. And I was like, got this goose bumps all over my head. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. He said, you're going to write the lyrics. And I said, I know. And it was like a vibe, you know, and because of my situation in that life, of my thinking on my personal beliefs, where I was thinking, you know, I could put my mind easily and write this song about Tsar Bomba, what this Tsar Bomba was, and put it like the Satan side and God and the expression and the free will and the growing of the mind of yourself. And it was like a fucking brilliant timing of showing exactly where you know, the music was crossing where the personal thoughts.
Yeah.
So it was like one of the best lyrics I ever wrote. So Sebastian said, this is fucking amazing. I never read anything more better, you know. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, he has written, said that to many stuff, but but actually he liked it, and it was good, and everybody liked it. So, and I was pretty. I think it's a good song, and it's a good lyric as well, and it's a good mindset to it. So,
yeah, definitely. I do think it's a great representation of who you are as a band. And you know, there's in many ways it does deserve to be your most popular song.
It's true. Maybe. It feels true. It has the energy. It has the true message. It's not a fake song. It actually has some heart in it. It has like it has such energy, and you can feel it. You can feel the message. You can feel the energy. You can feel the melodies. You can feel the strength, the energy. It's like we nailed that song, I think. And of course, on this the Dawn of the Damned album, we have some really good songs also that we nailed. So in What Waits for the Future, yeah. You can say that Mark of the Necrogram album is more like you can feel the energy in the band in the whole album. And Joachim, Sebastian and Johan was back, and there was like such a rush in the band and energy and the music. Everybody wanted this, you know, and it was like everybody was into it. And Dawn of the Damned, we took it a step higher. Everybody still had this groove and it still had this mind that we want to take it on another level, you know. What was the question? The development, the inspirations. The inspiration is actually from everything. When you listen and you're talking and when you're thinking, and how you can develop that thoughts into the music, like reading books. Okay, for instance, good books is like I think one of the best books when you're into this kind of a mindset that I am is like So sprach Zarathustra of Nietzsche.
Yes.
It's a very beautiful book, and it's like a perfect book to read about the achievements of oneself, and that no one is your master and everything. It's like, wow. So that's a good inspiration. And of course there are books like where you can make yourself grow higher, you know, and how you can understand yourself. Understandable books about how to understand yourself, and if you do that, you can nail it to anything, you know. Not like you take a fucking flight to Nepal and trying to visit the monks and everything. And, I find myself. Fuck that. There's so much better ways to find yourself by just doing some kind of tests and stuff. You know, you can see your good sides, you can see bad sides, and you can also see how you can progress these sides. And that is my inspiration.
Any movies with that?
Movies, yeah. Now I have to. I mean, I'm talking to hard rockers, you know. Then you have to say, great. Good movies. Fuck, I'm bad at this, you know. When somebody says, name a really good movie, and like 10,000 movies, like wow, blocked in my head. But I can say one good movie that I saw like 2 days ago is a Korean movie called Parasite, and it's about how you can, you know, lure your way in, and then you can, yeah, be a parasite. And but it's a good movie, and has a twitch in the story. I like movies where I are, you know, the thought 4 or 5 steps more than your mind can go.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, this story turned out really what I was not expected, you know. Like first time you saw a Fight Club, for instance, or yeah, Regular Suspects or something. There's so many good movies, but the movies that make you think. Also, like Ingmar Bergman movies, he was very in the early days, you know, with black and white movies, where these movies, like when they're speaking, you know, the mind, the saying, but the what do you call it, the what do you call it? If I say sentence, you know, the other one says a sentence. What do you call this in movies?
Dialogue.
Yes, the dialogue. And he has some hard, rough dialogues that pops your mind. It's like, what? I never thought I could hear this in a movie. So movies that make me, you know, a little bit shaken, or maybe that makes you think, is good movies. Parasite was a good movie. I can't say more. But music also. Well, I think there are some really good new black metal bands out there, and I can't name all of them, but there are so many good. But I like melodies and stuff. I'm not a wimp, but usually when I listen to music, I listen to instrumental music. Like most is like actually post German krautrock, we call it. Bands like Leech, Monomyth, Long Distance Calling, even Tides from Nebula. These bands that they don't sing, they just keeps the music, the vibe. That I listen to.
Despite being a vocalist.
Exactly. Listen to music when no one sings. I think that is actually very strange. Tired of hearing vocals, you know.
Do you think doing that allows you to have, you know, your own voice is stronger in your mind because you're not hearing someone else sing?
No. I'm just what do you mean? Like you hear someone else sing?
Like because you said you listen to a lot of instrumental music.
Yeah.
Do you think it helps you? Because if you were listening to a band with another vocalist, maybe you'd want to subconsciously copy that vocalist?
Oh, I never thought about it. I don't think so. Yeah, of course, if you listen to Ron James Dio from with Black Sabbath, like Heaven and Hell is one of the best albums ever did, and he has the best hard rock vocal ever since Rob. Or you can, yeah, I think Ron James Dio is the best. Of course, when you listen to his singing, it's beautiful, and it's same. He has the power and everything. He can express himself in his vocals, and I get influenced by that. When you see how he can turn into a little bit of very sensitive, and then he nailed it, you know. Yeah. That kind of expression I love to see when someone sings, you know. You can feel his trueness in it because he nails it. He is born with it, and he actually can develop his mind, you know, and develop his vocals to sing in this. Whether he be tiny or be strong, he nails it. He knows how he can do it. And of course, I get influenced by that. You know how he's doing it, and I want to do it the same way. But when I listen to instrumental music, it's just like, maybe it's because I just love it, because I just hear the melodies and the fine stuff, and you don't have to focus on somebody who is putting a message in my head or trying to influence me on vocals. I don't know. Maybe you woke up a question now. That's good.
You know, you said something very that's going to interest quite a few people because we spoke about this earlier, but there's always been the word black metal that's been attached to Necrophobic, right?
Yes.
But did you guys ever feel that you were black metal? Because I can maybe hear it on some of the later stuff, but it's not something that really when I hear black metal, I don't think Necrophobic.
No, usually people say it's black in the death metal, and we took that kind of frame. But as I see it, it's like the crossover section between black metal and death metal. And you have this comparison with Dark Angel, where Dark Angel is some kind of a crossover section between thrash metal and death metal. And it was pretty hard to nail these guys. What was this kind of music, but you can see the cross. I never heard Dark Angel be framed as black metal, death metal, thrash metal, or anything. Same as Slayer. What is Slayer? Is this Slayer thrash metal? I don't know. It's very, very hard. But Necrophobic was kind of everybody in Stockholm was usually at back at that time playing death metal in some kind of way. But we were influenced by Bathory and everything. And so I think it was more like a cross section between death metal and black metal. That's why the expression came up. I don't know who invented it, but blackened death metal. So it's like death metal with a blackened touch of death metal, black metal. And we have turned more and more into the black metal area over the years. So that's why it's not like a Norwegian black metal way, but it's more like a Swedish black metal way.
Are you a fan of Dissection, Sacramentum, Dawn? The big 3 Swedish black metal bands.
Yes, I think I like them.
Because you guys started just a bit before them, maybe about a year or two before them.
I think these guys were more like in the same vibe as Necrophobic was. They were probably thinking the same thing, death metal, but they wanted more black metal, and the Norwegian was black metal, and it was turning more to the blackened side, and everybody was walking that. And this section was close to Norway as well, and so there was a natural sounding for them because they were in the middle. They were in Strömstad, or in Gothenburg, and they were like developing from there, and they were hanging out with the Norwegian guys, and they were hanging out with the Stockholm guys and the Gothenburg death metal scene. So that's what a natural turning of the black metal, death metal side, And everything in Gothenburg is more like you can compare the Stockholm sound and the Gothenburg sound. Like Stockholm is a more punkier, sluggier, autopsy sounding style, but you have the Gothenburg is more fine tuning. Everybody can play, they're tight at the gate sounding, and they have the Norwegian black. It's like if I recording an album on 2 channels, in an old tomb, So it has all these kind of 3 sounding styles put together, and the section was more between that, and you can see the Necrophobic side was more like mix between Gothenburg and Norwegian, and the section was a mix between Stockholm and Norwegian, but they had the most like 70% of the Gothenburg sound, but a little bit of everything. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think it sounds good.
It is. So now you've been doing this for a really long time now. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think? What else do you have to say in your music? What else is there to explore, to conquer?
There's always new songs, but the new ways to conquer is to find the mindset of continue to do this, and what can you still do? Well, can you say something more that you haven't been said before that by anyone else? And how do you develop that into an interesting way of writing a lyric that people actually can enjoy and grow from? Make people grow, say good stuff that you really like. You can write like boring copy paste the lyrics, but when you can actually find new ways and new ideas to express good ideas and make it into this music, that is the development. And I hope we still have this energy that we have now in this band, because Corona shit, turned everything down. We've been lying on our asses for a year now, and when you're up and doing this, you're playing gigs, you're doing this, you're recording stuff, you're always doing it. You're in this role of creating. Now you don't create. You're just sitting and waiting. It's like a year that's been burned, but also good in buffering energy, buffering thoughts, buffering what to say. When you're on the high roll, just doing everything, maybe you're just trying to find something quick. But when you are actually home and not doing anything, you're feeling that you actually can say something in the future, because you have been home and thinking and wondering and being lazy. You gain energy. Now you start all over, and then you have a fresh start for it. You're not tired of it. You're hungry for it, and then you're gonna grow from it. So that's the big development to do it, is to find energy to still make this go on, this machinery. I don't think it's a problem. I'm hungry than ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the fact that you don't warm up, like you said, you just jump in, you do what you have to do, and
Yeah.
it's incredible that you still have that energy after, you've been doing this for almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
And no, you're not tired at all.
No. It's my diagnosis, You have to have some kind of disturbance in your head, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do it. You have to find yourself. You can't relax. It's always something that is bothering, and everything, and you don't know what it is, but you have to find some kind of way to make this come out.
Yeah.
Otherwise you implode or something. So I guess it's my personality, along with the other guys in their bands. They have personalities that also are pretty expressive. They want to do something with it. And musical people, everybody wants to create something. They have something that is buzzing their fucking asses off them. So the personality, I think, diagnosis, whatever, what do you want to call it, but if you have a high level of autistic level or whatever, but you have a functional and an energy boosting diagnosis, you have to find ways to get things done.
Yeah.
Chaos in between everything what you do. It's just a personal. Well, diagnosed. I guess I have it, but I have checked for anything. But I have definitely some kind of disturbance.
I think we all do, man. you're screaming and we're listening to you scream and we're going crazy, you know.
Exactly. You
It's
can't
not.
be normal, man. But who fuck is normal, you know?
You know,
And if you make it, you know, and you find ways to building yourself a good life. I mean, wow, that's amazing, you know, with this shit going on in your head, you know, and you find people who are similar. That is amazing. And I think it's more interesting to have this than be some kind of a normal guy or a normal girl. I don't know. Normal people are, to me, they're very good. They can balance everything. And but I am not normal. I can tell you. But I have to find my acceptance for that, and I don't know how to do it. But I find stuff to get it out of my head. You know, when it's itching too much. You know.
I mean, it must be quite funny, you know, when a lot of people ask you, so what do you do in life? I scream very loud and very hard.
Well, yeah, and they always like, "Oh shit, man, can you do that?" Oh, that is like, whoa, whoa, and they're trying to mock me. But of course, it's like, yeah, mock me the hell you want. I don't care, you know. What am I doing, you know? I'm standing with spikes and stuff, with a paint in my face, and screaming like a fucking maniac. That is not normal. And if I do that, well, I have to take the mockery. That's not a problem, you know. Make them come, you know. I can mock them too, you know. What are you fucking doing? You're doing nothing, you know. I'm good at teasing people.
You know, this is purely from a fan perspective. You know, I think my favorite vocal line in the history of music is from, you know, the Nocturnal Silence title track.
Okay.
It's basically the second time you say "Ancient Lords of Dreadful Evil, enter through the seven gates, legions of scornful." You know, it's the way that you're screaming. I don't know, dude. It's like the rhythm. Da 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 da. It's my favorite line ever.
Sorry to interrupt you, but that was when my vocals were at the peak, and even David said, "That's the best fucking lyric. That's the best sentence on the whole album." It's a lot of dreadful evil. When I go down,
Yeah.
It's a lot of dreadful evil. That's to the seven guys. You know, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and you can feel the do. It was like perfect cut. You know, peak of the fucking album, and you found it. That is good.
You know, to tell you a funny story, I think a few days. This happened a week ago. I was walking in the street with my headphones. I was walking, and two people come next to me, and I hear that line. I swear to God, my body just fucking jolted like an electric shock in the middle of the street, and people were looking at me like I was some kind of fucking maniac.
Sounds cool. I'm very touched by your when you say this. It's very, very cool. This is deep. This is very.
It's true. You know, it's not conscious. You know, it's subconscious. It's like the animal aspect. You know, it just comes out.
It's a fun fact that you say the animal aspect, because I have a friend from Israel called Tal, and he said, like, his first time he saw me on stage, he said, "You're a fucking animal." Now I'm animal from in his side, and I am the animal. And we went to Israel, and he was taking us from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and he was like, we're letting this sound guy from another band in the car. He said, "Don't touch my animal." So I'm the animal.
All right, you know, I've got a few last questions, mainly one. Now, you know, I imagine when you started, no one was like, very few people were singing in that style, you know, in the style that you're singing now. But now wherever I go, you know, I even see 11-year-old children, 5-year-old girls, everything. You know, everybody is screaming, right?
Yeah, spreading the disease.
Now, what I want to know is, since everyone's doing, what do you think is important? You know, what's the best way to do that style now? You know, if you hear someone on stage, you know, what do you want to hear from that kind of vocal sound?
Oh, what do you mean? Actually, how do you want this guy or girl to scream?
I mean, what do you look for? You know, what makes you think, that's a great vocalist?
Ooh. I don't know if you can nail it. You just hear it, you know. If they have this kind of, I think many people. I actually, when I was back in the days, I was thinking, shit, if I can do this, I don't know how many talents walking around with this kind of voice that doesn't know it, you know. Even like a high intelligence people, you know, like a CEO for a big company, maybe they have the perfect voice. Everybody can have a perfect voice, but that was pretty fun to think about. Maybe this old guy, he looks like a fucking maniac. He could have the voice, you know. And but as long as you find it, I think you can find a way to. You just have to find if you can do it, and then you let yourself go and find ways to make what you want to sound like. If you want to sound like me, try to sound like me, but you're never gonna sound like me. But you're gonna be very close to where yourself gonna be, and you find your own voice. And maybe you can find some influences in like I found the influences in how Ronnie James Dio is doing his kind of variations when he is low and high, you know. And for instance, one of my favorite death metal vocal guys is Chris Reifert from Autopsy, and also LG Petrov. Sadly, he passed away.
Oh, yes.
He has this. He was a friend of mine also, and when it was a small scene, you know. And when I met him the first time I met him, he was like, I was 16 years old, and I was working at McDonald's in Stockholm, and I went down to this subway, and I had this Destruction a Mad Butcher T-shirt, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, that's Destruction, good band, man." And he had this Infernal Overkill T-shirt. And I talked to him. He said, "Like, you should come and see a band called Nihilist. We're playing in near Bredäng next weekend." It's like, "Oh, cool, man. Yeah, come and join." And we were talking about thrash and death, you know, and everything. So, but when they released their first demo tapes, and so I was pretty much influenced by his vocals. So if you find yourself listening to some influence, wow, that man or that girl sounds really good, and you try to sound that, then you develop yourself, and then you develop your own style, because you can never sound like that person. But that's the way everything goes, you know. Just try to make it sound like you want it to sound. Well, if you have an idol, try to make it sound like that, and maybe you hit the notes, maybe you're not, but you're gonna hit some notes. And if you have the grit to make it happen, and always stick to the mission, you're gonna go far. Takes hours, but work for it.
All right. You know, is there anything you want to add?
In what?
In general, you know, anything you want to say? Any parting words? You know, I've held you long enough, and I think that the bottle of wine is calling for your attention now.
Yeah, that's okay. It's ended. I think I have some spare left, but if I were to say something, it's like I'm really eager for coming out to the world now, you know, and start doing gigs again, and feeling the energy of the crowd, and you know, everything go back to normal. You can meet people again, and you can go to concerts, and well, that's basically. I'm waiting, you know. It's like a ticking bomb. On the autumn, I think. I don't know when it's gonna turn out to be the first gig, but that shit is gonna turn wild. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully you guys come around here, because you know I don't think you've been here in a long time here in France.
We're coming.
Oh,
I have some stuff planned, but we'll see when it happens. You know, everything is like boom, 21, 20 was off, and then 21, 22. So 22, hopefully, or in the autumn of 21. We don't know. We'll see. But we're longing for it. We want to come join.
We can't wait, honestly. That's all I have to say.
That's cool, man.
All right. Thank you very much, Anders. This is honestly a great pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for chatting, and it was like an awesome moment to talking with you.
I mean, for me, one of my favorite fucking bands, one of my favorite singers ever. This is a big for me. You know what I mean? It's like some people, they have Michael Jackson. Man, me, it's Necrophobic and Anders Strokirk.
Well, thank you very much. That I am very touched by that your speech, and I am glad we speak today.
Yes, me too. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.